the sport I compete in is Muay Thai, which is like a kicking and punching based art from Thailand. We also use elbows and knees. And I've been doing it for about 2.5 years. Basically, there's so many reasons to eat plant-based, and
right? Hey friend, welcome to Chrysalis Chats. My name is Tanya, and like a caterpillar to a butterfly, I help people metamorphosize their diets and lifestyles to be plant-based. I am so stoked to be here with you today. I'm at the gym with this amazing vegan athlete next to me, Robert Loane. Robert, how's it going?
Not bad. How are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm super excited. We just got some awesome footage that you guys are going to see throughout this video of Robert kicking butt and taking names. And we just wanted to kind of explore this topic of vegan athletes, because I know so many people out there who are plant-based, or maybe you're not yet plant-based. You know, you hear a lot of flack about vegan athletes or vegans in general. You know, you're like, oh, you're not going to be as strong, or you're going to be slow, or you're not going to be able to build muscle. Robert, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, all protein is basically derived from plants anyway. Plants are the only material that have the ability to make protein, and when you're eating animal protein, it's recycled through plants anyway. So you're just basically cutting out the middleman when you're eating plants instead of animals for protein. So.
Yeah, that's an amazing point. That's a really good point. So Robert, tell me, what made you want to go vegan in the first place? Were you already an athlete, or tell us about that story. How did that go?
I was on a school trip through the University of Florida, and I was very out of shape at the time. This was about 2.5, 3 years ago, and I went with a group of students, and one of the females there was vegan, and I didn't know what vegan was. And at one point in the trip, I got stuck out at sea, while snorkeling, and she had to rescue me. So we became friends after that, and throughout the week I got to know her and about her history and about veganism, and I became really intrigued. And then when I get back from the trip, I started to eat vegetarian and a little bit of pescatarian, and I was working my way towards veganism at that time. And basically she inspired me to get healthy after that trip, and after almost dying at sea. So
wow, that's a hardcore story of transformation. So you're saved by a vegan at sea while almost drowning, and that inspired you to get into veganism. And then you were transitioning through pescatarian, so you were still eating fish at the time.
That was 2.5 years ago, so I basically transitioned through pescatarianism for about 2.5 years, and I felt like I still needed the fish for protein, which I didn't. And as soon as I cut out the fish, I started feeling a lot better. I started getting less inflammation, and I felt more energy throughout the day. And I also do intermittent fasting. So the intermittent fasting, along with the vegan diet, I feel amazing. I feel like I'm in my 20s when I'm 36, and
that's awesome.
So
how do you feel it's affected your performance to go 100% plant-based?
Before I went 100% plant-based, and I was still taking in the dairy and the cheese and the fish, I was getting injured a lot. I was getting I broke my ribs twice. I broke my foot in a fight. And since going completely plant-based, I have not been injured one time.
Wow.
So, and that's been almost a year. I've had 0 injuries. I felt a lot more mental clarity. I feel just my overall performance has increased, and also my weight is so much easier to manage, and I feel very focused in the ring, as opposed to when I was taking in the animal and animal byproducts. I felt not as focused and sometimes sluggish. So I feel way better. Well, the plant-based diet, along with the intermittent fasting, especially when I train after fasting, I feel really good, and I feel my endurance increased a great deal. I could train 2 hours and not get tired, and then I'm not getting sore. I'm not getting the inflammation that I used to get. It's really helping my overall health and wellness, plus the benefits of knowing that I'm I'm eating cruelty-free is just a bonus. So I started veganism for health reasons, and then I started transitioning into eating that way for the animals and stuff like that, and the environment. And basically, there's so many reasons to eat plant-based, and
right?
people are just
So many.
uninformed. And now there's a lot more research coming out with like the China study, and that's like the first long-term diet book that's came out.
Yeah.
And it shows like the plant-based lifestyle increases your life expectancy 7 to 9 years. So
And quality of life,
and
right?
quality of life.
Yeah. So what would you say is your primary motivation at this point in your life for being plant-based?
I was doing a lot of research, and like 2 out of 3 Americans are obese.
Yeah.
And
Crazy, right?
I 100% contribute that to the diet, and I don't want to be taking medication when I'm older, and I feel like if I eat healthy plant-based foods, it'll eliminate my needs for like Western medications, and I feel like my overall health and wellness will improve.
What do you find as a vegan athlete? What do you find other athletes in your field talk about when you say, hey, I'm vegan? How do they react to that usually?
As a fighter, a lot of people don't know what it is. So most of the time, I'm like explaining what veganism is to them. A lot of them think it's more vegetarian, vegan is vegetarian, and I have to be like, no, it's like no animal products at all.
Right.
And like, it's just like a lack of education, not education of fighters, but lack of knowledge about like the lifestyle.
I've definitely heard that same thing where people, you say I'm vegan and they're like, oh, you're vegetarian, and you gotta explain it to them. And I find that people usually seem to think it's kind of extreme. And I myself, when I was vegetarian even, was kind of like, man, veganism's a little like extreme, you know what I'm saying? But really, it's such a difference between being vegetarian and vegan. And you just said, you know, you feel like you're going to be healthier, it affects your performance positively. Is there any downfall in your mind and in your experience to being all plant-based?
I don't see any downfall at all. I mean, 56 billion farm animals are slaughtered every year. That equals around like 3,000 animals per second, and that number's gonna like double by 2050. And we can't sustain that type of lifestyle in the world, or we're gonna go through like a mass extinction. We're already headed that way with like global warming and all the climate issues that we have. So it's just like dangerous to keep eating that lifestyle. And I think veganism is spreading going widespread, because it's increased like 600% over the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
So people are seeing the documentaries, people are reading the books, they're doing their own research. They're not looking at the milk commercials and all the chicken commercials, and they're actually doing the research and seeing that this is bad, and they're looking at like the overall health of Americans and saying like, wow, we're all getting like pretty fat, and there must be some commonality of why we're getting overweight, why we all have diabetes.
Right.
And it's the government is trying to push this because they want as much money through healthcare. Yeah. They don't want veganism to go widespread. They'd rather people be sick so they can make the money off healthcare. That's like the number one contributor for the government of revenue is healthcare, and like people being sick. And I just think it's like bad that they're basically poisoning the people, and
and you're so on point, and you're not in any way dramatizing this. This is literally what's happening. You can see it in the sorts of what we could sincerely label as propaganda, what's being pushed for the American people to digest, right? So on that topic, Robert, what do you eat in an average day? I feel like our viewers are going to be really interested in that. Like, here's this awesome vegan athlete, you know, he has this great performance. They just saw you throughout this video, you know, doing your thing, really being awesome in the ring here. What do you eat on a given day?
On a given day, I'll wake up at like 6 or 7 in the morning, and I won't eat anything until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'll have like coffee up until then. And then 2 o'clock will be my first meal, and I'll load it with oats and bananas and like a lot of high quality foods. I'll even get some oatmeal that has protein with it, and like chia seeds and stuff like that. So a very healthy lunch right around 2 o'clock. And then I'll usually get another snack right before I go to my workout. So around 4 o'clock, I'll eat my second time. And then after my workout, I try to have something sugary to like kind of bounce back.
Right. Electrolytes and whatnot.
And then I eat a healthy dinner every night. Usually I do eat some of the fake meats like the Beyond Burgers and stuff like that, but a lot of the times I try to eat healthy plant-based meals and stuff that's high in protein at night and low in carbs at night. I try to manage my carbs so that I kind of cut off my carbs around 6 o'clock. So I'm not like digesting carbs, and my fasting like works better that way, and I'm burning fat throughout the night and up until 2 o'clock.
So do you find that you eat a lot of raw vegetables, or do you cook a lot of your food? How does that work?
I'm eating more cooked vegan food. The raw stuff I eat are like bananas, peaches. I eat more raw fruits. Vegetables, I'll have some carrots or broccoli. I really like this restaurant in Boulder called Thrive, which is 100% raw.
Oh, cool.
And I go there at least once a week. So
awesome. Yeah, I'm totally going to go there after this and get a good lunch. That's a good recommendation.
Yeah, that's very good.
So, Robert, what would you say to other athletes out there who are currently eating animal products and they're looking at a vegan diet? Like, what's that about? What would you say to them?
I would just basically tell them to do the research before I come up your ass. Okay. You could edit that out.
Yeah.
On like performance and how animal products affect your performance, and milk and dairy and stuff like that, and how milk and dairy basically affect your body in a negative way, and just make an informed decision or take a 22-day vegan challenge and see how your body feels after those 22 days. And I mean, I guarantee you're going to feel way better after those 22 days. You're not going to have the soreness. You're going to be able to train harder, longer, and just feel better when you're doing it. So.
Awesome.